I previously transformed this entire island into the shape of a massive skull. Now I'm going to be building a humongous castle on top and call it Hogwarts. This is by far the largest project I've ever done. It took me over 100 hours. So please stick around to the end of the video and I promise you won't regret it. Alright, let's start with the first build. It's going to be really complex, so I think we should begin with the framework. I'm going to get all of my gross mushroom blocks because they're really easy to use and remove when we're finished. I'm sorry, little mushroom. Your home is about to become a concrete jungle. We're going to start by making a basic layout of the lowest layer and then dividing the parts within the zone into sections. So this is what I got now. It looks kind of weird at the moment, but I promise when we build a bit more, it's going to be really something spectacular. Next, I need to work with the height of the castle. We're going to start with the base portion and then add some pillars and boom! I would just like to add a few extra towers dotted around because come on, it's a castle. They have a lot of towers. Now I need to get the walls in. I think I'm going to be using a mixture of blocks, mostly stone bricks, and then cracked stone bricks. This is definitely not going to be enough. I have this insane farm I built a couple of 100 days ago that produces 120,000 cobblestone per hour. That's so much that I might explode just thinking about it. Okay, if we flick this, yes! There we go, it's producing cobblestone. Let's just sit and wait for a few minutes to get enough. Here we are. As you can see, there's quite a bit of cobblestone, but now I need to cook it and turn all of it into normal stone. As you can imagine, that's not going to be easy to cook 100,000 stone, but fortunately I have a super smelter inside of the ocean monument base. Boom, bada bam, I got a load of stone. Let's turn these bricks into stone bricks and then cook those. Here we are, we got a ton of stone and bricks. I just started working on the first couple blocks, and as you can see, these blocks are pretty randomized. That's because I'm placing the blocks while spinning my mouse really fast. These phantoms won't leave me alone, and before you guys tell me to sleep in the comments, I refuse to sleep, because I want my phantom statistics to be extremely high. I've spent the past 6 hours building just the walls up, and I've already gone through 30,000 blocks. What have I gotten myself into? We just need to do the higher part of the castle and add some walls, blocks here, and done. Sweet, the first step with the castle is done. It's pretty basic, so now we're gonna work on the detailing. After traveling to my villagers and robbing them for cheap trades, I enchanted myself with a couple of pickaxes and went to the Nether. Yes, there's the fortress I need. I just love that beacons can go through bedrock. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so I decided to use Nether Bricks for the castle. There isn't a great way of farming them, so we got a bunch of bricks. Now we need some andesite. Ladies and gentlemen, diorite officially has a purpose. I just found out that you can craft 2 cobblestone and 2 diorite to craft 4 andesite. Now I wish I hadn't thrown all my diorite out before. Goodbye, filthy diorite. Well, now after several hours of collecting these blocks, I kind of wasted even more time to figure out some designs for the roof of the castle. Here we are, we're now 15 hours into this project and got a fancy roof. There's just one more thing I need, and those are dragon eggs. You heard me right. I want hundreds of dragon eggs. Just trust me on this one, they'll look really cool. But the bigger problem is how we're going to even get them. So after doing some research, I saw that I needed a stronghold. Here we go, let's power this thing. Okay, now we need to apparently break these guys. So this is day 1, hour 0 of mining this block. Bruh. I'm just kidding. We need some mushrooms. Please don't ruin anything. Yes! Only 3 more times. Okay, now let's build the farm itself. I just finished. I only have 1 dragon egg. So if this fails, then it's lost forever. Yay, we got a bunch of these eggs. I placed some of the eggs on the highest points of the roof that I had made, only to realize that the edges were kind of plain. Let's try adding some nether brick fences and iron bars. The big reveal? Wow, that looks so sick. Just imagine when we copy this design over the entire castle. Although, if I'm gonna be using these bricks, I think I need a better way to farm them. Let's create a quarry. Right here looks fine. I have a couple of shulker boxes, and this pickaxe is gonna be destroyed. But I just need a buttload of netherrack. All that's left to do is to cook all of these blocks. Not all these blocks are done, but let's go ahead and use what we got. It turns out that I needed around 8,000 nether bricks. That's kind of a lot to place. Well, there's a problem. My super smelter doesn't seem to be working. Oh, I ran out of fuel. I think that means I'm gonna have to run to my wither skeleton farm and gather some fuel. Okay, now if we load this into the smelter, everything should be good. I got back to work on the roofs and... So this is taking a while longer than I expected. I'm getting kind of bored. So I think I'm gonna change things up and we're gonna start working on the towers as well. I'm using spruce logs for the pillars of the roofs, and all in all, it's looking pretty good. Now I wanna pause here and do one thing. But first, let's grab some hoppers and some anvils. And in 3, 2, 1, we got ourselves a cool little, big gate. Perfect. Now let's get the lower parts of the roofs done, and we should start coming up with a plan for the upper sections. Yeah, this whole area is kind of plain. I think we should copy the tower designs like so, and maybe add a sort of ring-like roof around these two towers. How's that? I'm also going to quickly add some railings around the whole castle to make sure we don't, well, slip. Perfect. We're gonna leave the roof clear for now because in the future I plan on building a massive dragon attacking the castle. So guys, we have a little dilemma. The front looks meh. Maybe if we add some cobblestone and then some iron bars. Yes! Also, how about a platform above the entrance? Speaking of the entrance, let's get some big doors in. Okay, now around this area. I think we should use some spruce logs and stone to create an elevated walkway. Guys, I ran out of logs. Oh no, I forgot, my tree farm exploded. How about instead we create a mega tree like this? And then I can get some TNT right here. And yeah, this isn't the best obviously, but it's not bad. There, we got quite a few stacks. Now it's time to get back working on those platforms again. Yeah, so I may have gotten a little carried away and I made this area look really cool. Along the way, somehow a phantom got stuck in this boat, so I guess he's gonna stay there forever. Next, I plan to divide this whole area into 2 sections by building a big wall. Here's some cool scaffolding. Dude, this is looking so sick, but not so much this area. Let's begin by changing the floor to something a little better. I want to keep it pretty gray to match the castle. What if we use stone, andesite, cobble, and dead coral? Okay, so to get coral, I need to find a reef. And get a beacon. Okay, now I should be able to mine this stuff pretty quickly. If we just boat around, nice, we definitely got enough now. Okay, I also think maybe we should add some pathways in this area to make it look better. These pathways definitely don't work. Yes! Okay, great, this area is looking pretty fancy. I think now we should fill it out. I'm gonna start with a fountain. Oh, that looks so good. Now, these 3 buildings, I hope make this empty area feel better. I think we should build a barracks over here for the army of this empire. Maybe over here we can put a stables for the horses that the king might own. And yeah, over here, how about a house for the guests who come to the kingdom? The barracks, we're definitely going to keep it simple and match it to the rest of the castle, but I think we should use a different block for the roof. How about red nether brick? What do we need for red nether bricks? Ah, why are these so expensive? Okay, so I got Pooper Scooper Jr. here, and on it there's Fortune 3. Now I think if I mine this nether wart field I made here, yes, I got quite a bit of warts. That is not a sentence I want used out of context. Okay, next we'll use our nether bricks to create red bricks. All right, I feel like it's time to start placing the roof. Okay, there's definitely nothing quick about this. Nice, this place looks awesome. Just one more thing, I want to try to make a sword on the front. That kind of looks like a sword. Yeah, that should work fine. Now, I'd like to make a stable for the horses that I definitely have. Alright, for the inside area, I want to put a place to keep the horses, and then maybe over here we can do something where they have like rodeos. Okay then, finally, I'm going to build a house over here. This looks somewhat okay. Let me just get some details. Wow, this area is really coming along. We just have 2 more things that I want to do to finish this castle. I want to first make this area full of life. I had this cool thought of making it almost like a market. How about we start by building a couple of market stands out here? I realized I need some wool. Fortunately, we got this crazy wool farm. Now let's build these things. I think those definitely work. Next, I'm gonna build a couple of carts and wagons full of barrels and food. This whole area looks pretty great, except for over there. So a little backstory, you know how villagers are kind of horrible? And you know how old kingdoms had a place to, well, like, eliminate horrible people? Well, how's this? If you're wondering what his crime was, he, didn't say good morning. That now concludes the entire front part of the castle, and I gotta admit, this is probably my best build ever. But there's a problem. I said the front part. This back looks kind of poop, and I'm not gonna pull a Grian on you guys, so give me just a minute to fix this. And with this block, we are officially finished with the entire castle.